Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
The Cavalry.
We haven't changed it yet, folks.
It's still the Cavalry.
Still the Cavalry.
Should we just start with that? Because, oh my gosh, I'm having cold feet now. I did do my homework, though.
Well, then let's not do it. If you're having cold feet, let's not do it.
No, you were supposed to talk me into it.
Oh, sorry. No, I was always anti. You were the pro guy.
Well, here's the good news. I looked into changing the name, and it's very easy to do.
Okay.
You just literally go into Buzzsprout and change it, and then we'd have to change the artwork. And that's
okay.
it. I also think if we're doing that, we should also use a different recording software. Like we should again try like that Riverside or something else where we can be like do the vertical video so that like some of these like these cool podcasts go viral on Instagram or whatever. We could be like that.
And they're on top of each other.
Right. They're on top of each other. Or it literally will just switch back and forth, like depending on who's talking,
And we have that option to do that here, but
well, I don't know. Well, then maybe we should just keep Zoom. But the Zoom thing, I'll say this too, is like I just saw this article where they were talking about how they updated their terms of service, and now by agreeing to just using Zoom, we allow them to like take our names and likenesses for AI purposes. So they can just be recording, like we're recording this, and they can just take that and then train future artificial intelligence podcasters how to talk about appliances and complain about their kids' activities.
Oh, and they can recreate our voices.
Yeah. I think they could already do that because there's so many of our voices all over the internet. We're kind of screwed on that.
Yeah.
But
that's scary.
Yeah. So speaking of which, I read this. John Mulaney shared this article from a guy, and he was like, everyone's kind of makes fun of Chat GPT because it's not even that good, Like I think you tried a joke on there, and it wasn't very. The one it did for you was horrible.
Yeah.
And but he was like,
for a reminder, it was tell me a joke about farts, and it was like, why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything, including farts.
Yeah. And it's just not a good joke at all. So, but he said a guy who was writing this article, he was like, hey, that's the like crappy one they're just giving away for free. Like there's all these other AI systems being developed that are private that are way better. And like actually, and he wrote these they were Onion style headlines, and it was all the computer wrote them. And they were like, I was like, if you put the Onion's graphic around it and stuff, I'd be like, I could see it,
Yeah.
Like I should pull it up and read.
Like it understands sarcasm and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, it just has the voice down of the Onion, so clearly it was just aping the Onion's like tone and everything and the style of humor, but like it had it down so cold. I mean, you could kind of tell they weren't quite the Onion's quality, but it was like pretty funny. Like it was like not horrible. Let me see if I can find these. Okay, here we go. This is the one that I thought of you because it's a Batman one. Budget of new Batman movie swells to $200 million as director insists on using real Batman. So it's like, it's not like the best, but it's like pretty sophisticated for like a computer to write,
Wow. Yeah. Yikes.
I don't know. Anyway,
and if you're on your phone, if you just got a text from me, that was the AI created version of a new logo, and you can see how we are in no it's just awful.
Wait, they don't even say no guests.
I know. It says something about the art one. It doesn't like understand art like English or something like that. It's always like that.
G-tot nut. No nuts.
And the prompt was create a logo for a podcast called No Guests. And it's like,
well, graphic artists are safe for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess so then when I was on Buzzsprout is our podcasting hosting site, and I was on there. I for my big job was to figure out if you could change the name. So of course I just immediately Googled how do you change the name of your podcast on Buzzsprout, and then there's all this stuff written about should you do it? Are you
Oh yeah,
launching a
and
rebrand? Are you gonna betray loyal followers by blah 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 blah
yep,
blah?
yep.
But we've already done a lot of the things you're supposed to do. We've been talking our audience through the rebrand, but what they said you
Yeah, they're
want to,
probably sick of it, to be honest with you.
I think, yeah, they're probably like, less talk, more rock. Are we changing it or not? But no guests is what we landed on. Except I will say that that name tells you what the podcast isn't, but it doesn't really tell you
Right.
what the podcast is that a
Correct.
problem,
Um,
or does it matter?
you know what? Does WTF tell you what that is?
That's a good point.
Does
Right. No
mm,
guests. All right. So we're moving ahead. It's gonna be slick. It's going to be new. Like our
I did a
videos are
better
going to look
job than I
cool.
realized by explaining that away.
That's all it took for me. I just needed a
Okay.
little bit of something
A little nudge. Okay.
to keep me on the tracks. We're
Cool.
changing it. We're doing
Well,
it.
should we give our loyal listeners some non-name change content?
Yeah. Are you
Right.
clearly you're
I don't have anything. I don't have anything on the
not,
docket.
you don't have anything?
Well,
All right,
no,
I got
I
something.
could talk about stuff, but go ahead. You go first.
Well, this is the first thing that came to mind. Have you ever read like a lot of comedians recommended this book to me in Los Angeles, and then I hear a lot of writers talking about this book, but there's this book has been around for a long time. I think it's called The Art of War.
The War
The
of
War
Art.
of Art.
Yes, it's a pamphlet. I love it. It's my favorite book. I read it on a fucking 10-minute.
Is it your favorite book just because it's so easy to read? Like
it's a great book because it's so easy to read, but it's also one of those books like you read it for 5 minutes and you're just like, yes,
yeah,
and it just regenerates. It just
you get the
invigorates
point.
you.
It's
yes.
like it is funny. It could have been like a paragraph probably, but
yes.
he like writes the same paragraph 50 times and it calls it a book. Part of me, I've never read. I've always resisted. It's funny, resisted, because that's the big word. The evil. If you haven't read it, it's like resistance is what's stopping you from doing anything. So if you want to like start a new company or become a comedian or write a book, you'll always come anything that gets in your way is resistance. So procrastination or surfing the web or but then he kind of gets, I don't know if you've read it recently, but like reading it now in like 2022 or what year is it,
23
goggles, it's a little out there, like he's like depression is resistance, like is like if you're accident prone, that's resistance. I'm like, I don't know if like someone has a run of bad luck, like gets diagnosed with cancer and it's like, you're procrastinating.
That's an excuse.
That leukemia is just an excuse. Become a if you want to be a skydiver your whole life. I don't care if you have no legs, So it's kind of crazy, but it does give you that little hit of like, oh, okay, I should just do it. You're thinking about doing something, do it. You want to change the name of your podcast? Don't dick around for 6 months and debate it. Just do it.
Yeah.
But then it also seems like
do it. So what do we? Okay, that's good. That's inspiration. Then what do we have to do? So you figured out how easy it is to actually do, but what do we have to do? We have to just get a logo, and
somehow I got us back on a name change contest.
Yes, you did.
No, we're not talking about that. I'm talking about The War of Art, which is this book that I think may be useful to some people, but honest to God, I guarantee he's an anti-vaxxer. Reading it, oh my God, he's got anti-vax written all over that book.
Yeah, I haven't read it recently.
COVID, that's resistance. Just right through it. Yeah. You're hacking up a lung. Right. Yeah. Also, he wrote the shortest, like you said, like this guy.
I mean, it is a pamphlet.
Are you really writing every day? Your book is like 60 pages. It's like big font, and they each and there's like space. Every chapter is like 8 pages. So there's
it's like a poem. Each thing is like a poem.
I don't know if you were writing every day to write that book. And then he was talking about like alcohol's resistance, all this stuff. Like Hemingway was a drunk. His books are way longer than yours.
Yeah, and more successful.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, so
How about
suck it.
that?
What's his name? The author? I forget.
I don't know.
Exactly. We know Hemingway's name.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah. Exactly. Like
Yes.
anyone who's read that War of Art book, like to me, it was probably first recommended to me like when I first moved to LA. I think Maria Shahada, former guest,
Okay.
was big on it, and I had resistance and did not read it. And I would challenge him to go back and check it out again because it's kind of crazy.
Well, I should do that because I have it and I
Yeah,
read it and I was like a big proponent. I was telling everyone about it. I was like, oh man, it just energizes you.
it does
I didn't
energize
do
you.
anything, but it gets you all pumped up.
Yeah, I've wrote more the last few days. I mean, it was all crap. I actually tried it at a show. It wasn't very
Yeah.
good, but you know, I
It's
think it
like
was like don't don't get in your own way kind of thing. And
yeah.
I mean that's good. I just think he takes it way too far. It's
Did you ever do
funny.
the Artist's Way
Now
with the morning
that's
pages?
that's the morning pages. And that's another one where I've read a little bit of it, I think, but like and I've never done it. But
Yeah.
again, it's like alcoholics do it, right? Like I've heard like recovering alcoholics be like, it saved my life and I do these pages in the morning. It's like, why is everything equated to like these addictions and stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you do it?
I did well, I didn't do the whole thing. I did that where you do the morning pages I loved. And then I got to like where you're supposed to like play with GI Joes or something. You're supposed to like
What?
pretend you're a kid, do what you did when you were a kid to just play.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I'll do that. But then
It's like,
I
hey,
got distracted.
hey pal. They didn't have Zelda Breath of the Wild when I was a kid. Or trust me, I would have been doing that. These video games were not as
Artsy.
good.
Speaking of which, guess what I was doing while I was waiting for the ping from my good buddy
This is
Andrew?
why you're not. This is why you're nowhere in that game. Is you play it like 7-minute
I
spurts.
know. I can't. I know. I do. It's terrible. I'm in a shrine and I gotta find Hestu. I found Hestu a long time ago, but I didn't do what he told me. He's like, "Oh, I'm scared of those trees." So I just was like, "Ah, I don't know how to beat trees yet," and I left. And now he's gone, so I can't find
Hestu.
him.
I don't even know who that is.
The guy that gives you more weapons to hold.
Oh,
You
oh
told
yeah,
me
yeah, yeah.
about him when we were on the ship. The guy that looks
Ah,
like broccoli.
dude, all the names sound like that. I don't know how you actually. You're better with the names than I am.
Well, that's only because I converse about it with and I overhear Edie talking about it.
Oh, okay. Well, great. You're progressing on Zelda. This is clearly more interesting than talking about the name change. This is
Yes.
fantastic. What's up with you? Where are you at? What's going on?
Are you
Kids
talking about
good?
like me personally or in Zelda? Oh,
No,
no,
get
the
out
kids
of
are good.
Hyrule.
We went to Mount Olympus in the Wisconsin Dells yesterday. So that
Oh,
was that was fun. That's like, one of those overpriced water parks. Have you ever been to the Dells?
I
Or
did a show of some sort of funny business or
oh, okay.
something out there once, but I had
How
no
long ago was
idea.
that?
Huh?
How long ago?
Oh my God. I was over 10 years ago. I mean, I was
Okay.
featuring. I remember that.
Huh.
And I didn't realize like it was such a like because it probably wasn't peak season. It wasn't like summertime,
Yeah.
but you just see all these billboards like it was like freaking Vegas or something,
Yeah.
And I was like, what are Dells? Like I like honestly couldn't even figure it out. Like I was like, what is a Dell? Or is it like
Yeah, I don't
just
think
the
I know. I
name of the
can't even answer
town?
that question. I mean, yeah, it's the name of the
We're
town,
just
but it's got to
there.
be a thing. I know, but I didn't go to a Dell. I didn't go to the Dells. I mean, I was in the place, Wisconsin Dells.
It's
It's a
just a bunch
city,
of it's just
but
a
I'm
bunch of
sure Dells are
laptops.
things. I don't know.
They're just laptops everywhere.
It's
I had to say it twice. It's embarrassing. Uh
but it was fun. I mean, it's like $35 for a ticket to get in, but Aaron's, we would never have gone if she didn't get these discounted. So it was like $10 a person that she got a long time ago. So we were
mm,
basically like, oh, we have 5 tickets. Let's go. So we went yesterday, spent the day there, and you pull in, and it's like, all right, $35 to park. Like, are
yeah,
you fucking kidding me?
yeah.
God, we were just started off pissed. So then we go to it's just all these rides and shit. And then eventually we're like, all right, let's get food. We need food. I thought Erin was like, no, we're not getting this shit overpriced food, but she was like, well, we got to get it here somewhere. So we order food at this place. They give you a beeper, or one of those pager things that go
Those
off
pagers, yeah.
at the pool side. So we go sit at our table. We're sitting there waiting for half an hour. And I was like, what the heck? I mean, it was like $15 burgers, not, $11 hot dogs. So I go up there. I'm like, yeah, I'm checking on my food. She turns around. It's sitting on the counter. She goes, oh, yeah, here it is. I was like, what?
Why didn't you
My
beep
thing
me?
never went off. She's like, well, were you in range? I was like, I don't know. My table's right there. And she's like, yeah, that's like out of range. So I feel the hot dog. It's fucking ice cold. I was like, we just spent $50 for to split 3 entrees and an appetizer to save money. And it's fucking ice cold. So I was complaining. And then they probably, took a shit on it and microwaved it or something. But they took it.
Yeah.
I told them to remake it. And then we ate it. But oh God, it
I
was
love the
just
concept
such a
of
ripple.
those beepers having a range that doesn't encompass the tables.
I know
It's like,
exactly. That's what I was like. Are you shitting me? I can see the counter. You can see my
yeah.
table from the counter, and we're too far.
I've
And you didn't tell
also,
my wife when she ordered it, like, hey, this only has a range of so long.
I'm calling bullshit on that. Maybe it needs new batteries or something, because I've been to like those, and like those, like a PF Chang's in the mall or something, and you could be walking. I could be at the other end of the mall, and that thing has gone off before me.
Yeah. No, because she hit the button when I was bitching about it, and it went off while I was
Yeah, but
standing.
that's what I mean. Sometimes the batteries, if they're low, it doesn't have as
Oh,
good. Like the beeper on your car when you first
yeah.
get it, you can do it from like across the parking garage. And now my car, I got to get like right next to it.
Oh, that reminds me. Have you ever had because this Prius we have is our first car that is like you just need to have the key in the car
Yeah, yeah.
and you push the button.
Yeah, I got that.
But we only got we got it used and we only got one key, like
Oh,
one thing with it
yeah,
because
that's
it's
where
like
we're at.
$300-$400 to get a second one made.
Yes, it is.
So we just are like, we'll just keep an eye on this one. We've gotten the battery changed once at the dealer, and it was like probably 6 months ago. How often do you think you got to change the battery?
Oh,
Like almost never,
every
right?
5 years or something.
Yeah. It's already where I'll get in the car and you push the button and the icon lights up that says there's no key in this car. So I just have to take the key and like move it around and kind of wiggle it and shake it until that light goes on and then I hit the button. But
But
like what
you could.
happens if I'm going 90 miles an hour, the battery dies and it's like there's no key in here. We're shutting off. You
But can't
know?
you still stick? You can still stick it in the slot. There's
I
still
mean,
a
you can
key.
do that. You can do that to unlock the door, but there's no slot to stick it in to start it, is
Oh,
there?
there isn't. There is on ours.
Where is it?
Because I used to I have my older Prius. You would just stick a key, or no, it wasn't my mom. My mom had a Prius that was like a year older than this one,
Yeah.
and there was just a slot. And so sometimes with this car,
But where's
I
the
would.
slot?
It's just right by the steering wheel, like right below
Next to
the.
the button?
Yeah, underneath the button, I think.
I'll look. I didn't
See if
see.
there's a slot, because then you should just use the slot if you're having. But that is hilarious. You waving the key around.
I'm like, I
It's like,
promise it's in here.
oh, this is so much better than those old fashioned keys where you would just turn them in, turn the car to start.
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
terrified it's gonna be like, oh, you're stealing the car. You don't have the key anymore just because the fucking battery
And
died.
then like literally haul you off to jail. Like, yeah, you can't prove that you own this car. Did you ever wonder, like, how
Not only
they.
that, but if it slams on the brakes and just freezes mid
I don't think
drive.
it does that. I don't think it does. There's an ejector seat, and the second it realizes you don't have the key, it's like, get him out of there. Poof.
Got a thief.
I don't think it does that. I think, in fact, I've done that where I drove.
Without your key?
Like, I literally started the car and had the key when I started it, and then maybe Heidi was in the car and she was getting out, because we only
Yeah.
have one key, so it's the same thing. It's like DEFCON 5 all the time over here. Like, where's the key? Where's the keys? We only have
Yeah.
one house key. We only have one car key.
Oh, you got to get more house keys, man.
I know. I mean, my brother-in-law has one, but that's it.
Yeah.
And we just have like slowly lost keys, or. And we didn't even change the locks. I think we talked about that, but when we moved in, you're supposed to change the locks. It was like, whatever.
Yeah,
We're
no one does
rolling
that.
with
I'm
the
too lazy. Like, they
yeah,
seem like trustworthy people.
yeah, they sold us the house, you know?
Yeah. If we get
Um
robbed, we'll know it's them.
exactly. Just go rob your stuff back.
Yeah.
But yeah, we basically have one set of real keys. That's it. And we
But
just
so when did
pass
it
them
up
back and forth.
happening? When Heidi took the key and left and you drove?
Oh no, the car still drives. You can still go where you could drive to freaking New York City if you want. You just can't turn it off. You just got to keep it
Oh.
running. You cannot stop the
You
engine.
know
So,
you can get gas with the car running. It's fine. You're not supposed to, but you can. Nothing happens.
well, I always wondered about that. So,
Yeah.
what is the, I always get scared and turn the car off because they're like, I think it's like it could blow, like static electricity and it could blow up or
Yeah, but
something.
but you could do that. I mean, that's a thing even if you do turn the car off.
So,
It's
what is the
fine.
point? What is the point?
I
Like
don't know.
when they teach you that, like in driver's ed, why are they even telling you that?
I don't know.
I'm leaving my
I
car
don't
on from
know.
now on. Because we have a problem. Speaking of Prius problems, this new segment's called Prius Problems. It's
Are
sponsored
you
by
okay? I'm going to
every other
Google
car.
that.
It's sponsored by the National Petroleum Institute. uh, Here's the Prius problem we have is the latch on the gas cap, not the gas cap, but the little door that covers the gas cap, you know, when you
Yeah.
go
What
to get
about it?
gas, it's lost its spring. So when I open that, it doesn't pop open. It just like sits
Oh.
there. So I literally have to
Oh.
keep the latch pulled. I have to like pull on that thing by the driver's seat actively in order to open the. So in Oregon, it's great because I know the guy's going to pump my own gas. So I just pull that thing and I hold it until he opens the little door. But if I'm by myself in
Yeah. How
Washington
do
or
you do that?
California, you know what I figured out? I wedged a certs uh, underneath the button to like pop it up so that I can go and open because otherwise there's no way to do it by yourself.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
smart.
So I always
That's
have to
like
have a thing of breath mints.
that's like when I had my Cavalier and I just had to keep a box of shirts behind me because there was no like lock to keep the seat from reclining.
Finally, that merch comes in handy.
Yeah.
Well, I got my handkerchiefs. I'm
What do you
selling
mean?
them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm gonna start
Oh, I
doing a
can't wait
show.
to
I
hear how
think
it goes.
This should be a big show here in Portland. I think I might try.
Does it say you're making everyone uncomfortable?
Yeah, they came out pretty good.
I
I will
love
say
it.
that the material, the handkerchief, it's not as good as the ones that were sent to me, um, which was so
I have one
nice.
too.
You got one too. Yeah, it's not as nice as that one because this material is like much cheaper and lighter and
Yeah.
it's kind of see-through, which I don't like. So you can kind of see that there's something printed on it from both
Yeah.
sides. But if you fold them up, it's the same effect. But like I think next time I'll ask this printing company, but I'm trying to maximize profit over here, okay, folks?
Right. Come on.
We can't
He's got a kid.
can't get them all from Etsy, all right? I
That's
can't afford that.
right.
Have some lady sewing them for me. We can't pay her salary.
Yeah, not yet. I looked it up. I Googled it. While you can technically keep your car on, there's always a non negligible risk. Gasoline vapors can come in contact with static electricity, which can ignite a fire, ultimately leading to an explosion.
It's exactly what I said.
That's exactly what you said. So I guess you were right.
So it isn't something that can happen all the time. You just made that up.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, because someone told me, oh, you got to
Not a
touch your car. You get out of your car, you're supposed to touch it in case you
not
have
a
like.
compliment. Not a compliment. I wasn't I wasn't complimenting your creativity on making that up. Oh, thank you.
You were calling me a fool.
Calling you a liar.
All right.
You're supposed to touch your car?
That's how you get rid of static electricity on yourself. Because you touch a metal thing, you get shocked, but it gets the static electricity off of your person.
I mean, has it ever happened?
Exactly.
I mean, how many times is a car blowing up at the gas station? I would love to hear about it.
God, that would be that'd be a great that security cam footage would go viral. The second
Yes.
guy just
Just explodes. Yeah.
oh yeah, he forgot to touch his car before he filled up.
Yeah. What an
Yeah.
idiot. Everyone starts
What
blaming
a
him. What a
moron.
dumbass. Like something nobody ever does or
Yeah.
thinks about doing. I hate
Ugh.
touching my car because it's always so dirty.
Yeah.
With all that
I wash my
grime
car with the windshield wiper squeegee. I
just the
always do
whole
that
way
on daily
around.
basis. Yeah.
Hey, there's like a
A
line
life
behind it.
hack.
We're gonna be here for a while, folks. Get comfortable. You're
Yeah.
doing the wheels and shit. Like, oh
Yep.
my god.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, what do you
Should we do
think?
it?
Should we
Topics?
do it? Let's do it.
Okay,
Can I
buddy.
can I go first?
You can go first.
All right. I
Good
hope you
news.
agree. I hope you agree, but I think turtlenecks are the dumbest, ugliest, dorkiest, most fashionless. I can't believe they're even are they even still made? I think they're awful. Women can pull them off,
Yeah.
you know,
Maybe for ladies. Yeah.
strategically, but a guy in a turtleneck just looks like a fucking asshole. And I've
I'm
never seen one that you don't. That's not the case.
I think that's true. It also doesn't hold up well. Like all the old turtleneck pictures of people, it's you know how like
Mm-hmm.
fashion usually comes around and like some
Yeah.
people now, if you look at guys from like the 40s and 50s, like, oh, very stylish or whatever, and even
Yeah.
like some of the looks from like the 70s or whatever. But
Not the
turtlenecks
turtleneck.
never look good.
What is
I
the
don't.
point? I mean, I don't understand it. Like, oh, it keeps your neck warm, but like, it's
It's
so
not. That's
fucking
not it. That's
ugly.
so stupid. I, I mean,
That's so
like,
stupid.
are you
Well,
kidding
then what
me?
is it like? Because it then 100% because it looked good.
I think so. I think okay, because there's a reason why I'm trying to like mimic the look with my hands. But there's a reason why you're saying it looks better for women than
What you're doing does not.
that doesn't look like a
I
turtleneck.
mean, I'm
It
not
kind
trying
of
to
does,
defend turtlenecks, but that's
doesn't
not.
it? Oh. Well, you're saying it looks better for women than men. I think the reason is because like on a woman, you want to like necks are like sexy or whatever. You want to accentuate the neck, like if a lady
Yeah.
has a nice long neck or something. But nobody like likes like a dude like, you see Johnny, his neck is so long. So it's like
Yeah.
there's no point in drawing attention to your neck as a man. And then if it's the opposite, where you like work out all the time, you have like a huge bulbous neck. You don't want a turtleneck on that either, because then it's just like even bulkier. You look odd.
I mean, just do a quick Google search, man turtleneck.
Anything coming up? Is there a current shirt you can buy? Like a
Oh yeah, you can't. Yes. I mean, these aren't the ones that I'm picturing when I say like we had a family photo where we're all in turtlenecks and oh god, hopefully all those copies have been burned, but like yeah, I mean they have sweaters, a lot of sweater turtlenecks. Here's a
yeah,
picture of the Rock.
that's the one I
And
was thinking of because he's got the huge neck too. So it's a ridiculous
yeah.
photo.
Yeah, his turtleneck is sticking out further than the collar of his suit
Yeah,
because his neck is so wide. And then there's Timothy Chalamet in a turtle. Like I
nailed
just
it.
what? Thank you. You felt my hesitancy and you boosted my comment. Yeah, nailed it.
Timothy Chalamet, just like the most famous guy in the world.
Nailed it. Oh, so that was sarcasm. Okay.
No, you did.
Well,
You did nail it. I think that's definitely how you say it. I mean, not that slow, but
not that slow and unconfidently.
you said it like the like 86-year-old like lifetime achievement award Oscar winner who has to now give an Oscar to some kid they've never heard of. Like when
Yeah.
John Travolta did the Adele Zadim or whatever, trying to give it to. Now I don't even know her real name. The lady who sings the Frozen
Adele?
song, not Adele.
Oh, Medina.
Manziel, Johnny Manziel.
Yeah. I don't know it.
I don't remember. That's horrible. Now we don't even remember her name.
Medina. I
Adina
don't
Menzel. Adele Dazeem. I just remember him saying it.
know.
but he had to be confident, because he was like, I'm fucked. I can't see.
Yeah.
I should have
I
worn
can't act like I
glasses.
don't know it. I'd just rather be
Yeah.
mistaken than, yeah.
We've all been there. I mean, I've been there. I was bringing up comics and I didn't remember their name.
I mean, turtlenecks. I feel like not long ago. Maybe I'm wrong because I'm looking at a picture here of Jay-Z next to P Diddy and what's his name, Anderson, that
Cooper.
comedic actor. And they're all at an award show, standing next to each other, wearing suit coats with turtlenecks under them.
That sounds like an old photo.
Well, I mean, not, yes, but more recent than my family photo when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
we all look like assholes.
But no, but this only strengthens your argument because even if it was, you're saying, even if it was fashionable today,
Yeah,
and popular, and everywhere you go, you'd see a man in a turtleneck, you would still be against it.
yeah. See, here's Drake in a turtleneck and a suit jacket with a gold necklace around. Like,
That seems to be the way to wear it. You have to wear a jacket with. You can't wear the turtleneck by itself. You have to wear like a sport coat with it.
I don't know, whatever. I think it's like this is not. I'm not as strongly feeling about this, but like capri pants, I just think those are ridiculous.
No man's wearing capri pants.
Well, I know, but I'm saying for women.
Oh, you don't like, you're like, pick a
I don't
lane.
think it'll look like assholes like a guy in a turtleneck, but I just think it's a stupid thing.
Yeah.
I think someone pulled the wool over society like, "Oh, this is trendy, this is fashionable." No, it's not. It's fucking stupid looking.
Wait,
And
no,
enough people bought it.
I'm gonna
The
expose
capri
my
pants.
I'm gonna expose my ignorance. The capri pants is where it's just pants that aren't. It's not shorts. It's not
Right.
pants.
Yes.
It's
It's
like
like women's
between shorts and pants.
jeans that go halfway down their calf.
Yeah. That's dumb.
It's
Because
yeah.
there's no. It's the same thing as a turtleneck. It's either like cold enough to wear pants or formal enough to wear pants.
Yeah.
eh, You know. And if it's so cold that you're like, oh, my neck will get cold,
Put on a
then you wear a
scarf.
scarf. That's scarf season.
Exactly.
The turtleneck's not stopping that icy Wisconsin wind from getting in
Thank
there.
you. You get it.
I'm with you.
You
Backing
are,
you
yeah,
up.
you've been nothing but backing me up. That's great.
Nothing but backing you up.
The cavalry in action.
That's right.
All right.
Okay.
What do we got?
All right. I think I was torn between two, but this is what I'm going to go with because it's a good old, this is a great topic because we haven't talked sports in a while. So, do you know who Shohei Ohtani is?
Never heard it.
Okay.
Never heard that name in my life.
He's a baseball player. He plays for the Anaheim Angels. He is like going to win the MVP and he's probably going to win the Cy Young. He's like currently the best pitcher in the league. But what makes him unique is he's also a position player. So when he's not pitching, he plays in the outfield, right? And most
What?
major.
Is that uncommon?
Well, this is why it's great that I'm bringing this up to you because yes, it's exclusively rare. It never happens. It's not just uncommon. It never happens. Now in the National League, the pitchers have to hit.
Yeah. Or, I mean, no, I don't know
There's
that, but
no
okay.
well, there's no designated hitter. Like in American League, the pitchers don't hit. They have a designated hitter.
I know there's different rules for American and National League.
Man, we really are gonna have to. I thought you had caught up.
I thought, but
I thought you've had all these kids playing baseball, and you're coaching third
Don't they
base, and
play
you've caught up.
together? Listen, the national and the
Yes,
big championship.
sometimes
Whose rules do they go with on that game?
the home teams. So in like the World Series, it's the National League versus the American League. Whoever's home, that's the rules they go with. So like the National League has to have a designated hitter when they play at the American League team's park, and vice versa.
Oh, they gotta fucking flip a coin or figure that out because that's stupid.
Yeah, I think they'll probably bring the designated hitter to the National League if I had to guess, but one day.
How does that even start? Like, did two people invent baseball at the same time? And
That's
they're like,
a great
you do
question.
your way, I'll do my way. How does that even happen? I don't understand.
It's like that episode of The Simpsons where they're founding Springfield and Shelbyville. The one guy wants to be able to marry his cousins, and so they split off into two towns. That's a great question, and I don't know the answers. How did they ever let that happen? Because baseball purists hate it, like yourself. They don't like that the American League has a designated hitter. They think it's dumb. they think, of course, the pitcher should have to bat. It's part of the game. It's the rules. But
Yeah.
it's popular, I think, and so they don't get rid of it.
Hmm.
But this Shohei Ohtani does both, and not just like in the National League, because in the National League, the pitchers hit, but when it's not their day to pitch, they're not in the lineup. They don't go out and then play outfield. They sit and they wait
The whole
for
game.
5 days. The whole game. They just sit around and wait 5 more days until it's their turn to pitch again. Right?
Okay. So it's not like a pitcher's not like a quarterback where it's like, here's our starting pitcher every game.
Right. No, because their arm would fall off. So they have to give them like days off in between starts.
Okay.
And there's so many games. There's like 162 games or whatever. So
has a pitcher's arm ever fallen off?
yeah, that happens all the time. It's one of the reasons I watch baseball. You never know. Ooh, it's dangling.
It's loose.
I think it's gonna go. One more pitch. Whee! Just follows the ball into the crowd. Blood everywhere. Okay.
Okay, so he plays the games that he's not pitching. He'll play in the outfield.
Yes, because he's such a good hitter and fielder and runner, everything. That on the days
what's his second position? Did you say
outfield? I can't remember.
Oh,
maybe right field. I can't remember. Maybe center field. I don't know. But he's very good at that too. So like he's good at he's like a little league kid who's just obviously the best. Like Bo Jackson with the other sports, but even Bo Jackson didn't pitch when he played baseball, you know. So he's obviously the most valuable player because even if he was just average at the two things, he would be the most valuable because he's doing both. And so it's like insanely, it's worth so much more to your team when you have someone who can do both, right? And but he's like the best version of both. Like he's like the best hitter in the league right now, and he's the best pitcher, right? He might be the best.
Sounds like he's setting a bad precedent, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm. So this is what I need backup on. Is I guarantee you, all his teammates and every other player in this union job hates this dude because like dude, you're kind of blowing up our spot here. We had a good thing going for a long time where we didn't have to. I get to pitch and then I sit around and I wait and I and relax. Now you're making us all look bad.
Yep. Now the owners are going to be like, well, how do you outfield? I'm a pitcher. Well, you see that guy over there.
Shohei, old Shohei's doing it. Why can't you?
Yeah,
he's ruining it. He's ruining the whole con for everybody. There's like, I guarantee you there's going to be pressure on these guys to do more now. Just because this dude is an overachiever. Like, what are you trying to prove? You know?
And I hope for the sake of him and all these dual position guys, I hope he's getting like twice the salary of an average baseball player.
And that's the thing, he's not right now. He's not getting, but he's gonna. I think it's his contract coming up or something, and they're already talking about how like he's gonna make the most money ever, which of course he should. Because even if he were just like a great pitcher, he'd probably get a ton of. But I don't know if he's gonna literally get double. I mean, it would be crazy. It would be like that's so much money.
That's something the other players could be like, well, yeah, no, I only pitch. I don't do, but I'm also only getting paid to pitch, whereas. Hyunga or whatever his name is, he gets 2 salaries because he does 2 positions. Right?
Hyunga.
What's his name?
Shohei Ohtani.
Ohio. We'll edit that out. That did not sound good.
Nope. It's staying in. But I just think like we can celebrate this guy all we want. We can say, oh my God. Also, okay, I guess I'm not exactly sure what I want backup on. I think you already got to my point that before I even could say it. But the other thing I think is like, is he really like this once in a lifetime athlete? Like, is he so gifted that he's doing something that no one else can do? Or did all these guys just kind of go, well, we don't have to do it. Right. So why would we? And I mean, if maybe they had grew up their whole lives and kept like these pitchers just kept hitting and kept running and they would have been able to do it too. But they were just like, who does that? And this guy's coming in and he's screwing up the whole system.
I agree he's coming in and screwing up the whole system, but something tells me it's not the first it's not where people are like, well, we don't have to. Because if
Somebody
someone
would have tried.
could, they would. They'd be like, I gotta get on top. I gotta be the top guy. I'll do whatever it fucking takes.
I don't know, because I think like it becomes a thing too, where it's like, what I think is more likely the answer is, I mean, I'm sure he's a great athlete. Obviously, he's like incredible athlete that he can do this. I also
Yeah.
think there's other incredible athletes out there that probably could have done it, but it's not just that you're you don't want to and lazy. I think it's probably that you're coached a certain way and there's a culture, and they're like, no, 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 you're a better pitcher. You should just focus all
Right.
your time on that. Or you're a better
Yes.
hitter than you are a pitcher. So don't even worry about the pitch, because we want to specialize you, because that's the way the game is played, you know? And
So
then
he
you
might
get
be breaking the system.
he might be breaking the whole system, especially
Yeah.
when he gets this contract and he gets his double. Because like, yeah, once that happens and he gets paid like two people, there's probably will
Yeah.
be some players going like, no, 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 I'm gonna figure this shit out too. I'm gonna
Yeah.
pitch.
Coach, put me on third. See what I can do there.
Because like I said, even if you're just average at it, I mean, this guy
Yeah.
happens to be the best at both, but like even if you're just average, you're doubling your worth to the team.
Yeah.
It's like with football, like if you're a great quarterback, you should
Yeah.
also like punt. Just learn how
Has
to.
that ever happened?
No, I don't know, maybe like 100 years ago, but you should just totally learn how to punt, and then just be like, yeah, just tack that punter salary onto mine, and don't, you know what I mean? I'll make that extra
Yeah.
like $6 million a year, or whatever it is, 5
Yeah.
million a year.
We don't need a center. I'll just snap it to myself.
You're just holding off a dude with one arm and firing. That would be the greatest athlete of all time. If a
Yeah.
quarterback could be his own offensive lineman, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I were or a punter and a kicker should definitely be the same person. I mean, again, I'm
I
not
thought it
trying to.
was. Like
No,
the guy that kicks at the beginning of the game is not the same guy
see,
that
this
kicks
is
the
why
field
you're
goals.
great. This is why you're great, because you have such a lack of knowledge about sports. You're coming at it with an open mind
With a
about how it should
logical
be,
mind.
and
Yes.
that is logical. Why wouldn't the guy who kicks it off the tee be the same dude who kicks it from just dropping it and punting it? But
Yeah.
it's not. Two different people.
Two different people play for less than 1 minute a game
And they pay
and
them
get paid.
millions of dollars each.
Oh my God.
So why wouldn't just the dude who punts learn how to kick and go, yeah, pay me that dude. In fact, I'll do it for like 10% less than what he's doing it. I'll do it just
Yeah.
as good. I mean, it's a kick in the ball. I mean, how different could it be?
Yeah. Oh, damn.
But then there's probably like a code, or there's respect, or you're like, well, I don't want to be the first guy who does it and costs. We're going to literally
Exactly.
cut the jobs in half in this league of
Yeah.
kickers,
Be the most hated. Yeah.
But if you're like a team, you'd probably want one guy to do both, because then you
Right.
have
Or
an
an
extra
owner.
spot, or an owner. You would pay
Yeah.
one less guy, have an extra spot for like linebackers, or
Yeah.
receivers or whatever.
Yeah. Save money on uniforms and helmets.
Now you now you're thinking big.
Heck.
Hey, one less airplane ticket we'd have to buy.
That's right.
My dream of owning an NFL team, maximizing profit margin.
Yeah. Nice.
Anyway, so
Well,
you got me. You're backing me up.
oh, totally. Totally agree.
These guys hate him. I guarantee you they all hate him. I would
That's
hate
what I was
him.
thinking. As you were telling, I was like, oh, I bet everyone else hates him.
Because think if you were like, just think of it in comedy. If someone came in brand new from a foreign land you never met before, all
Yeah.
this hype, and then he does your job better than you, and he does another job better than everybody who does that job. So he's doing twice as much as you and better than you. Like, this guy's got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally backing you up.
Okay. All right. That's it.
All right. What do you got? Any shows you got to plug?
Just Laughs in Seattle, August 25th and 26th, Laughs Comedy Club. And then in September, I forget when, but towards the end of September, I'll be in Bend, Oregon. Going back to Bend. We're doing 4 shows. Might have took too big a bite of the apple, but prove me wrong, and tell your friends in Bend I'm coming back in September at the Open Space Event Studios.
In Bend, Oregon?
Bend, Oregon.
All right. I'll be at Mendovi, Wisconsin at the Together Farms. It's a festival thing, I think, on next week. I just had the 23rd, August 23rd.
Folks,
23rd.
if you don't have Mendovi Farms festival thing circled on your calendar, then I don't know. What have you been sleeping under a rock? Living under a rock?
All right, that's what I'm plugging.
My iPhone just dinged me about the Mendovi Farms festival thingy. It's on my calendar.
Okay, yeah, I just thought of a topic for our post-show banter. Get on the Patreon, people. We have some fun and
lots of Patreon stuff coming. Maybe we'll debate the name of the show again.
No, it's not that.
Okay. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Join the Patreon, like Johnny said, if you want post-show banner and bonus episodes. And we'll talk to you next week. And thank you. I forgot how we close it. Thank you for.
We'll talk to you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
On listening to The Gallery.